When my HOA turned my storage facility into a neighborhood dumping ground, I uncovered a corrupt scheme that had been fleecing us for years. What would you do if your neighbors used your kindness to cover their embezzlement? My Aunt Clara left me a storage facility on Oakwood Lane, just outside our Pinecrest community. My wife, Emily, nearly spilled her tea when I showed her the will. A storage facility? She asked, eyeing the photos. It was a modest 5,000 square foot warehouse with 20 units, a small office, and a rusty chain-link fence. It needed work, but it was ours. Sell it? I suggested. We could redo the bathroom. Emily tilted her head. Or rent it out. Steady income. Before we could decide, the doorbell rang. Nancy Thompson, the HOA president, stood on our porch, her red lipstick flawless. James, I heard about your inheritance, she said, her smile sharp. Can I come in? Over coffee, she pitched her idea. The HOA's storage shed is crumbling. Could we use just one unit at your facility? It'd mean so much to the community. Emily shrugged, and I nodded. 1 unit, 3 months for HOA stuff only, I said. Nancy beamed. You're a lifesaver. 3 days later, I drove to the facility and slammed on the brakes. The lot was a circus, cars, trucks, and neighbors unloading furniture, bikes, even a kayak. Nancy stood in the chaos, clipboard in hand, directing traffic. What the hell is this? I shouted. She grinned. James, isn't it great? I shared our deal at the board meeting, and everyone's thrilled. I watched in horror as Mr. Larson parked a jet ski in Unit 10. Our deal was 1 unit. I snapped. Nancy waved me off. The board amended the bylaws. Your facility's a community resource now, equal access for all members. She handed me a document, Bylaw Amendment 52.1, Community Storage Access. My jaw dropped. This isn't legal. Nancy's smile tightened. It's in our jurisdiction. Be a team player, James. I drove home, stunned, as my phone pinged with the Pinecrest newsletter. Local homeowner donates storage facility to community. My name was plastered in the headline, claiming I'd offered free storage to all 200 households. Rage boiled inside me. This wasn't a mix-up, it was a takeover. A week later, new padlocks gleamed on every unit, locks I didn't own. Lisa Carter, the HOA's rule enforcer, was rearranging my aunt's old office. We changed them after suspicious activity, she said, not looking up. Nancy will get you a key, eventually. My voice rose. This is my property, she smirked. The newsletter says you donated it. Are you calling Nancy a liar? Before I could argue, my boss called about a missed meeting. I left, vowing to fix this. That evening, Mrs. Kim, a kind neighbor, dropped a bombshell. Nancy showed us paperwork with your signature, saying you donated the facility. My blood ran cold. My signature? Mrs. Kim nodded. It said you wanted to honor Clara's legacy. Clara, who once chased kids off her lawn, wasn't big on legacy. I stormed to Nancy's pristine house. Her husband, Greg, was mowing their perfect lawn. Your wife forged my signature, I said. His smile vanished. That's a bold claim. Be careful, James. At the HOA meeting, Nancy dodged my accusations, claiming I'd signed an agreement. When I pressed, she brushed me off. Mr. Kim whispered, the Wilsons lost their boat slip the same way. Nancy buries dissenters in fines. Most give up. That night, I found my trash cans tipped over, garbage everywhere, with a violation notice taped to my door. Improper receptacle storage, $50 fine. Emily found 6 more in our mailbox. Unapproved garden edging, too many bird feeders, wrong porch light. Total, $350. This is retaliation, I said. Nancy was sending a message, back down or pay. Emily and I met with Mr. and Mrs. Wallace, retirees who'd faced similar harassment, and Mr. Kim. Mr. Wallace, a former lawyer, spread out the HOA financials. They collected $90,000 for a park upgrade that never happened. Greg's cousin got a $45,000 consulting fee. Mrs. Wallace pointed to another invoice. And $50,000 for landscaping from a company Nancy's brother owns. My stomach churned. This was fraud. Mr. Kim suggested a trap, pretend to comply, offer the facility, and catch them red-handed. At the county clerk's office, I met Ruth, who confirmed the facility sat 15 feet outside the HOA boundaries. They can't claim it, she said, printing maps. She also found 3 county citations against the HOA for illegal storage, with a $120,000 fine looming. Nancy needed my facility to dodge it, without spending a dime. My friend, Alex, a lawyer, drafted a cease and desist letter. If they don't stop, we'll get a restraining order, he said. At the next HOA meeting, I stood up. My facility isn't HOA property, I said, showing the boundary map. And you're facing a massive fine for storage violations. I held up an email, a $50,000 quote for a new HOA shed, dated the day before Nancy's visit. The room erupted. You tried to steal my property to save your budget, Lisa shouted. We were helping you. Nancy banged her gavel, but I slid Alex's letter across the table. You have 48 hours to clear out. That night, I installed hidden cameras in the facility. Then I emailed all residents. I'm opening my facility to the community. Emily thought I'd lost it, but I whispered. It's a trap. Mr. Wallace had tipped off county investigators about missing park funds. Mr. Kim predicted Nancy and Greg would hide evidence in my facility. Sure enough, at midnight, cameras caught them sneaking in boxes labeled HOA records. Their whispers echoed. If these invoices leak, we're done. The next day, I called an emergency meeting, announcing a proposed 20% HOA fee hike. The community center was packed. Nancy tried to control the agenda, but Mr. Wallace interrupted. Let James speak. I stood. I didn't donate my facility. I'm donating the truth about your stolen money. Mr. Kim played the video, Nancy and Greg hiding boxes, plotting to blame past boards. Folders with proof of fake contracts and kickbacks circulated. Greg yelled, This is lies! But the crowd drowned him out. I added, The county prosecutor has this evidence. An investigation's open. Chaos exploded. Neighbors demanded resignations. Mrs. Wallace blocked the door as police arrived. They want to talk about those missing funds, she said. Nancy's face went white. Weeks later, police raided Nancy and Greg's home, seizing boxes. The scandal tore Pinecrest apart. Some defended Nancy, most were stunned. Lisa apologized, tears streaming. I thought I was helping the community. I forgave her, she'd been duped too. At a library meeting, I nominated Mrs. Wallace as interim president. Lisa seconded it. She's honest, she said. Mrs. Wallace vowed transparency, online financials, no petty rules. Then she turned to me. What about your facility? I could have taken it back. Instead, I said, I'm turning it into a non-profit community hub, not HOA-owned, but for everyone. Gasps filled the room. Why? Someone shouted. Because Nancy doesn't get to ruin our neighborhood. Volunteers transformed the warehouse. Emily designed a tool library and cafe. Lisa painted walls, whispering, I'm moving. Too many memories. I nodded. Good luck. On opening day, the Oakwood Community Hub buzzed. Kids played, neighbors laughed. Emily squeezed my hand. You turned a mess into a miracle. That night, I found a $115,000 check in our mail with a note. For the tree. Sorry. Greg. I bought 25 oak saplings. Neighbors planted them where Nancy's hazardous removals had scarred our yards. Mrs. Wallace directed us, clipboard in hand. Mr. Kim grinned. One person stand fixed what seemed broken. I shook my head. Not one, all of us. Pinecrest isn't perfect, but it's healing. Nancy and Greg face charges. The hub thrives. Sometimes, the greatest donation isn't money, it's the courage to say, enough. What do you think? Was my trap too deceptive, or did Nancy and Greg deserve it? Share your thoughts below. Let's debate trust, revenge, and community in the comments.